Unbelievable medical mysteries you must see. Imagine waking up one day and your own hand has a mind of its own, moving with a will you can't control. That's not a scene from a horror movie. It's a real and baffling condition called alien hand syndrome. It's a bizarre reminder that sometimes our own bodies are a complete mystery, and that's just one of the unbelievable medical head-scratchers we're exploring today. Cases that have stumped doctors and pushed the very limits of what we know about medicine. The history of medicine is really one giant detective story. For every disease we've conquered, there's another that leaves us with more questions than answers. We're about to journey through some of the most perplexing medical cases ever recorded. These stories reveal just how complex the human body is, and how much uncharted territory medical science is still fighting to explore. So, get ready to have your mind blown. Section 1. The town that danced itself to death. Our first mystery takes us way back to 1518, in Strasbourg, Alsace. It all started with one woman, Frau Trophea. She walked into a street and just started dancing. No music, no celebration. She just danced and danced for almost a week straight. Before you know it, a few dozen other people had joined her, all caught in the same strange compulsion. By August, the situation had spiraled. The so-called dancing plague had gripped up to 400 people. Local officials were stumped. Their best idea? They figured the cure was more dancing. Seriously. They set up a stage and cleared out guild halls, thinking people could dance the fever right out of their systems. This was a terrible move. The constant, frantic movement in the summer heat took a grim toll. People started collapsing from exhaustion, and while historical records are debated, reports claim many died from strokes and heart attacks. So what could possibly cause something so bizarre and deadly? For centuries, experts have thrown out theories. One of the top contenders is ergot poisoning. Ergot is a fungus that grows on damp rye, a major food source back then, and it can cause hallucinations and violent muscle spasms. It's actually the same natural source LSD was derived from, which might explain the dancer's trance-like state. But that theory isn't perfect. Ergot causes spasms, sure, but it's unlikely to cause the coordinated non-stop dancing that was described. Others suggest it was a case of mass psychogenic illness, or mass hysteria, fueled by the intense famine and stress of the time. The idea is that an entire community's psychological trauma exploded into a bizarre physical event, but in the end, no single explanation perfectly fits the horrifying details. The dancing plague eventually faded, but it left behind a terrifying question. Could our minds actually force our bodies to dance until they break? Section 2. The mysterious body of the Sun King. Next, we have a royal enigma from ancient Egypt, centered on one of history's most radical pharaohs, Akhenaten. He's famous for tossing out the entire Egyptian pantheon of gods for a single deity, the sun disk, Aten. But it wasn't just his religious beliefs that were revolutionary, it was his body. Surviving statues of Akhenaten are totally unique. They show a man with a long, stretched-out skull, a slender neck, wide hips, and a potbelly. His face is stylized with full lips and an elongated chin, and his limbs look long and thin. For decades, experts have argued about these depictions. Was this just a new, symbolic art style meant to make the pharaoh look like an all-encompassing, androgynous god, or were the artists carving what they actually saw? If it was real, a couple of medical theories have been floated. One popular idea is Marfan syndrome, a genetic disorder affecting connective tissue that often results in a tall, thin build with long limbs and distinct facial features, all things seen in the art. Another possibility is Klinefelter syndrome, a condition where males are born with an extra X chromosome, which can cause features like broader hips and less muscle. But there's a big problem with that. Klinefelter syndrome usually causes infertility. We know Akhenaten had several children, including the famous King Tut. While these theories are plausible, most Egyptologists today lean toward the explanation of a purely artistic style. Without Akhenaten's mummy to provide definitive DNA, his strange appearance remains a 3,000-year-old mystery, making him a medical curiosity, as well as a heretic king. Section 3. The girl who wouldn't grow up. Imagine a child who, for all intents and purposes, just stops aging. This is the incredible, real-life story of Brooke Greenberg, a girl often described as being trapped in a toddler's body. Her condition was so unique that researchers simply called it Syndrome X. Born in 1993, Brooke developed at an agonizingly slow pace. As a teenager and then a young woman, she remained physically and mentally at the level of a toddler. She never learned to talk. Her mental age was estimated to be that of a 1-year-old, and her bones were like those of a 10-year-old. When she passed away in 2013 at the age of 20, she weighed only 16 pounds and was just 30 inches tall. Her case was an unprecedented puzzle. Scientists from top institutions sequenced her DNA, hunting for a genetic key. While no known mutations could explain her condition, they did note some unique genetic differences that weren't conclusively linked to her syndrome. It wasn't that her DNA showed no abnormalities, but rather that nothing they found could explain why her body's development was essentially paused. What's even stranger is that different parts of her body seemed to be on different clocks. Her hair and nails grew normally, but her brain and body were infantile. Brooks' case, and a handful of other similar cases discovered since, completely flips our understanding of aging. It suggests aging isn't one single process, but a whole symphony of systems that, in her case, had fallen totally out of tune. Scientists hoped her unique genetics might unlock secrets to treating diseases of aging. But for now, the girl who didn't grow up remains one of modern medicine's most profound mysteries. Section 4. The Brain Fog over New Brunswick. Our final mystery is a modern one, wrapped in controversy and fear, that has been unfolding in New Brunswick, Canada. It all started when a cluster of patients began showing terrifying neurological symptoms: rapid cognitive decline, memory loss, muscle spasms, and vision problems. For families, it was like watching their loved ones disappear into a fog of confusion and physical decay. Initially, health officials investigated the possibility of a completely new neurological syndrome, exploring causes from environmental toxins to a new infectious disease. But the investigation hit a wall. In May 2025, a peer-reviewed study published in JAMA Neurology reviewed 25 of the cases and concluded there was no evidence of a new, mystery illness. Instead, the study suggested these patients were suffering from a variety of known but misdiagnosed conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, and post-concussion syndromes. This conclusion has been a source of major controversy. The neurologist who first identified the cluster, Dr. Alier Marrero, strongly disagrees with the study's findings, pointing out that the number of people with unexplained symptoms has grown to over 500 across several provinces. Patients and their advocates also pushed back, arguing that the study's sample size was too small and that it ignored evidence of potential environmental exposures. This has left patients and their families caught in a devastating limbo. They are undeniably sick, but without an official diagnosis or a clear path forward. As of late 2025, while the government of New Brunswick continues to investigate, the prevailing scientific consensus points toward misdiagnosis rather than a single new disease. This has only deepened the fear and confusion, leaving a community desperate for answers that may never come. From a medieval dancing plague to a modern neurological controversy, these cases prove that the map of medical science still has huge blank spots. For every disease we can name and treat, there's a mystery that reminds us how much we still have to learn. These stories are more than just medical oddities. They're a testament to the patients who endure the unknown and the scientists who refuse to stop searching for answers. The human body is the most complex machine on Earth, and it's clear we're still just learning how to read the manual. What do you think of these unbelievable cases? Let us know in the comments which one you found the most mysterious. And if you want to keep exploring the outer limits of science and medicine, make sure to like and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown.